The salary cap in the NFL is going up and going up by a lot. Now, a lot of folks may wonder, what does that mean for you and your team? Guess what? If it was $255 million last year, and it was, and it can go maybe up to $281 million this year, that means over the last 2 years, according to Dan Graziano of ESPN, $53 million the cap has gone up. And what that means is you can pay players more. And what that means is if you're going to start scrimping on a running back, you are a complete and total moron. I just said that about general managers. You know what I mean? Like, oh, so we can't pay you $15 million, we got to pay you $9 million when there's $6 million of $53 million over the last 2 years going up. No, let's not go ahead and pay a difference-making guy. Let's just go and draft one and hope he can be it. You're missing the boat. I should say that instead of a moron. That's just the way I feel about it. It's certainly Howie Roseman just showed you. You know, if they scrimped on a running back position, would they have won the Super Bowl this year? Perhaps not. Perhaps not. And what this also means is players who are looking for more coin heard the cha-ching. You know who's one of them? Micah Parsons retweeted it, LFG.
That's awesome.
Retweeted about the cap going up, LFG. he LFG'd a couple of posts. One was also Matt Eberflus, the new defensive coordinator, talked yesterday for the first time since arriving back in Dallas. He was the linebacker coach for 7 seasons there underneath Jason Garrett. Eberflus, when he spoke to the media, called Micah a premier pass rusher. We're going to use him that way, certainly, and he's one heck of an athlete that can do a lot of different things for us on defense. He LFG'd that one, too.
Pay that man his money.
Exactly, Teddy. Exactly.
That's awesome.
And Eberflus had this to say about joining the Cowboys staff as Brian Schottenheimer's defensive coordinator.
As a former head coach, how do you help Brian, as a first-year head coach?
Yeah, and again, the first couple of meetings I had with him, I said, I'm here for you. I want to really just do a good job of bouncing ideas off of me, experiences that I had, and just working together, to be able to utilize me because I do have the experience of being a head coach for him and to make his job easier.
2 things here. Number one is it's good to see that Eberflus is not giving up his look of the hair and the beard just because he's no longer a head coach. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because normally go for an HC to an assistant. You can let yourself go.
Not when you have a glow up like he had.
I mean, he's glowing up, and two is I know people will have their fun and say, what's Eberflus going to bring from his head coaching experience in Chicago to Brian Schottenheimer?
A lot.
Damn straight. Let me tell you, man, he is an excellent defensive coach in the National Football League. You got yourself a winner there. I think that the Cowboys defense is definitely not the problem here. The problem is what's going to happen on the offensive side of the ball. Certainly, if you went ahead and didn't dip your toe in a much larger coaching pool with more of experience and a more expensive pool for coaches because you want to keep the system for Dak and everybody else that Mike McCarthy brought in and that Brian Schottenheimer is going to continue. It's the offensive side of the ball. Who's coming, man? Who's going to protect Dak and who's running it? Rico Dowdle's a free agent. Who other than CeeDee Lamb can catch the ball? That's what we're talking about here, right?
Also, Rich and Chris, we laughed a lot about Brian Schottenheimer getting hired, right? But if you look back, think all the coaches recently that at their introductory press conferences, we all kind of rolled our eyes at. Nick Sirianni, what's he done? Been to 2 Super Bowls. Dan Campbell, pew, 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 Cannon. All these guys, people looked at and went, what's going on? And they've all been pretty decent, especially Sirianni and Campbell. So that's why I'm willing to give Schottenheimer the benefit of the doubt.
There you go. You have no choice but to anyway.
Yeah, I mean, what else am I going to do?
Actually,
it's my
you
last
have a
year.
choice.
It's my last year, unless I see something.
You do have a choice. By the way, Jason Feller did this in your absence, Mike. He provided me with this wonderful folder inside his he made his excellent card stock as well. He made the a certificate of release of fandom presented to TJ Jefferson, and his own. He even made his own gold seal of. Because Jay is also amongst many things an actual notary.
Yes.
Yep.
He's actually
we think.
And you have not signed this.
Yeah, I got one over here. I told you I'm going to let this year play out. I'm
What
going
do
to
you
see
mean you have one over there?
Play out.
He made one of the certificates for you.
He
over
made
there?
a couple copies.
Oh,
Yes.
Where's my
same
Dodgers
card
one?
stock too.
It's good stuff,
I
man.
mean, listen to this.
Oh, yeah.
That's not
Serious
cheap.
card
That's
stock.
not cheap.
Clayton Adams. You know who he is?
Clayton Bigsby?
No, it sounds like actually it actually sounds like one of Clancy Brown's roles, right?
Yeah, right.
Clayton Adams.
Clayton Pigs.
No, he's the name of your new offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's the one who's going to be shaping Brian Schottenheimer's game plan with the HC.
Let's go, Clayton.
An offensive lineman by trade, an offensive line coach by trade, had this to say about what the Cowboys' offense, as I said, this is what it's about. How will this offense look?
The same thing that I want from every player on offense, and that is to create violence in the game, be aggressive, run, hit. I think that every decision that we make schematically needs to lean that direction. So if there's gray area, what is going to allow these guys to play more free and run and hit and be violent?
There you go. Remove the gray so you could be more violent.
I like that.
You do? So I should put this folder back in the...
I'd say, keep it close, but know that you have at least 12 months before.
Very good. Third place? NFC East, third place?
Yes.
Will they catch the Washington Commanders this year?
No.
Will they catch the Philadelphia Eagles this year?
No chance.
Okay.
Hey Cowboys Nation! Welcome back to the channel. If you're a die-hard Cowboys fan and love staying up to date on the latest news and rumors, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Now, let's get into today's huge news. Could the Cowboys actually sign Debo Samuel without even making a trade? This could be a game changer for Dallas, and today we're breaking it all down. Let's go! Section 1, Debo wants out of San Francisco. So, here's the situation. Debo Samuel wants out of San Francisco. The 49ers have given him and his agent permission to explore a trade. But here's where things get interesting. Other NFL teams might not be willing to give up much for him in a trade. And if teams aren't willing to pay the price in draft capital, the 49ers could end up cutting him outright to save money. That means Debo could hit the open market and choose his next team without anyone having to trade for him. And you know what that means. Cowboys fans, Jerry Jones, and the front office better be paying attention. Section 2, why Debo makes sense for Dallas. Show clips of Debo torching the Cowboys in past games, highlight CD Lamb stats. Let's be honest, Debo has given the Cowboys problems in the past. We all remember those painful moments when he dominated us as both a receiver and a ball carrier. But imagine if he was on our side instead. Right now, the Cowboys desperately need a legit number 2 receiver next to CD Lamb. Brandon Cooks had an up-and-down year, and the team doesn't have a clear WR2 locked in for next season. Adding Debo Samuel would instantly give Dak Prescott another dangerous weapon in the passing game and even in the run game. His versatility could completely transform this offense. But here's the biggest factor, his contract situation. Section 3, Debo's contract and the money issue. Show graphics of Debo's contract details, Cowboys cap space projections. Right now, Debo carries a $17.5 million cap hit for 2025. In today's NFL, where top receivers are getting $30 million per year, that number is actually pretty reasonable for a guy with Debo's skill set. The big issue for the 49ers? If they cut him after June 1st, they can spread out his $31.6 million dead money hit over 2 seasons. That makes financial sense for them, but it also means they would be letting a star player walk for nothing in return. For Dallas, this is where it gets interesting. The Cowboys could have over $100 million in cap space if they restructure some contracts, including possibly signing Micah Parsons to a long-term extension. And guess what? Parsons himself has said he's willing to take less money if it means Dallas builds a true championship team. That means the Cowboys could afford Debo Samuel without breaking the bank. Section 4, is Debo still a top player? Now, we have to ask the question, is Debo Samuel still worth it? There's no denying that Debo's production has dipped over the last 2 seasons. In 2024, he had just 51 catches for 670 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a far cry from his All-Pro 2021 season, where he had over 1,700 total yards and 14 touchdowns. So, can he get back to that level? Some of that drop-off could be due to injuries and the fact that the 49ers offense shifted more towards Christian McCaffrey as the focal point. If he lands in a system where he gets consistent targets and touches, there's a good chance he could still be an elite playmaker. And let's be real, lining up next to CeeDee Lamb and catching passes from Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy's offense, that could be the perfect recipe to revive his career. Section 5, final thoughts. So, Cowboys Nation, here's the big question. Should Dallas go after Debo Samuel if he becomes a free agent? Would he be the missing piece that finally helps the Cowboys get over the hump in the playoffs? Or should Dallas focus on younger, cheaper options in the NFL draft instead? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want Debo in Dallas? Drop your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest Cowboys updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Go Cowboys! American football blue heart.